sort of 4 or 5 weeks, what they've applied to their life as it comes in relationship to relations. Yeah, go.
Reconnected with my partner at a more internal, personal level, and now everything's going better than ever.
Nice. Good job. Yeah. Good job. Yes, sir.
I'm asking more questions, like also in friendships and stuff. But
Nice.
I don't know a lot about my friends.
You don't know a lot about your friends?
Like
Yeah.
I do, but
Yeah, no.
just, yeah.
No, I was talking to somebody on the weekend, and I said to them, one of the other chaps, there was about 18 of us away, 18 fellas away for the weekend on our annual Kingsman retreat, and we had a great time. But I was chatting with one of the guys about one of the other chaps that were there, and I was talking about, this sort of journey and blah, blah, blah. He goes, I never knew that. I said, might want to ask, since he's one of your kinsmen. You might want to ask him a little bit about that. He's not ashamed to share it. So, asking some questions and then awaiting for someone to answer is always a good thing. Sometimes we ask a question of someone and then we get awkward with that silent moment and then go, but if you don't really want to answer, you don't have to. You really want to know, don't you? So wait, just wait and let the pressure build up within that other person to divulge something. They'll pop at some point. So, good stuff. Tonight we're going to be doing, there's probably 3 nights left. Tonight it's all about the couch. It is going to be more intimate this evening, and next week will be even more again. Now, this is not to educate you on how to get someone in the sack, all right? This is about that, everyone giggle now. All right, we're done. Okay. This is not about that. What tonight is about, and next week, is getting you to just kind of put the brakes on a little bit around the pace at which friendships and relationships can move at times, that you might want to just consider. Now, I've been in schools, I've been in classes where educators have come in, I've been in families where parents have tried to explain about relationships, and most of the time it's crap, right? Most of the time you're trying to figure it out from your mates who haven't quite figured it out yet, and they'll usually give you advice around experiences that they may or may not have had. Now, the challenge with that is it might not be the right advice for you. It might be their experience. The older you get, the more relationships you have, the more wounded potentially you could be. So you bring what they call baggage into a friendship or into a relationship, and then you filter that, and when somebody asks you for advice, you give that advice out of that filter. I don't trust that guy. He's got one raised eyebrow. Like, what the hell is that? Like, what sort of advice is that? It's like, he's got dark hair. The guy I used to go out with 20 years ago had dark hair. Or somebody that's like, do we have any Peters in the room? Good, safe word. I used to go out with a guy named Peter, and you can't trust Peters. Like that kind of helpful, crappy advice. That just doesn't mean anything. So asking some probing questions. A couple of weeks ago when we were doing chairs, was it? I think I was doing
coffee.
Coffee. I was doing coffee. That's right. I gave you there was probably 10 or 15 questions we were asking. I was asking Taylor. We've loaded those to our Facebook page today. So if you want some questions to get to know your friends, because some of you, like we said, it's okay not to be going or looking or pursuing a relationship right now. And I don't care what age you are. You don't have to be put under pressure like, will someone ever love me? How about you get yourself right, first, slow down a little bit, ask some questions, and you might actually stop yourself from getting a whole lot of pain. That was cute. That was nice. Nice little wink and kiss there.
Did you see?
I thought. So, mate. Whatever. So, she did it first.
I love you. I miss you.
All right. Moving on. So, you two have some questions to ask one another first. Right. So, the challenge is tonight. Right. We're going to go a little bit deeper. There's going to be some things I give you. Now, don't stress it if you don't get it first thing tonight. We will post these little things to our Facebook page, and you can see the video. So if you didn't know, our video from our asset from the night goes live to our YouTube channel straight away tonight. It gets loaded. So if you look up Bridge Builders Youth Organisation on YouTube, you'll see all of the stuff. then it goes to our Facebook page, and eventually it gets to our website. So just so you know, if you wanted to see an asset from the night, by the next day it's loaded. So when MJ leaves, before she leaves tonight, it's loaded straight to our YouTube channel. So Bridge Builders on Youth Organisation, check it out, it'll be on there if you want to revisit it. So some of this stuff will be up there tonight. You know, how many of you, I'll tell you a funny story right first. How many of you have ever caught the train? Now, years ago, some of us that were older would remember these kinds of trains. The doors weren't sort of automatic back in the day. They weren't like, you know, had a time lock so you couldn't get it. You used to be able to just kind of open the door and hang out the train and kind of wait, look for your station. And, you know, as you were hanging out the train door like that, you had to be careful because the fence that was on the train station, you know, you just kind of had to time it, you know, just in case you lost your face and you had to pick it up later, you know, because as you went onto the train station, the poles used to come out within kind of QE. Remember that, David?
Oh, yeah.
Mary? Jenny? Anybody else remember those kind of trains? Nice, Red Rattlers, and I think they used to have the blue trains too, but then there was the silver ones that first came out, and you could just put your foot on the handle and just kick it open, and then you could put your foot there and it wasn't strong enough to close on you, so you could just stand there and hang out the train. Some reason it was cool to do that, you know. And as fellas, you know, I don't know why, it's kind of dangerous, kind of risk-taking behaviour, you know, but what we used to do as young fellas in high school was when you come up to your train station, it was like really cool as the train was coming in before it stopped to jump off, you know. You know, you sort of jump off onto the train station, you know, it was kind of like, see who could eat, you know, at that point, or who could land it, you know. I remember several times, but this one time, I'm on the train with my brother and we're heading from Ringwood to Burwood Station, you know, and from Burwood, Camberwell Station. When we got off Camberwell, we got on the other side of this and then caught a train back out to Alamein. As we're rocking into Camberwell Station, my brother says, I got this. You know, I said, you got what? He says, I figured out that if you run in the opposite direction to the train, when you get off, you can stop almost instantly. It's like you don't even move. And I said, no way! I said, no way! Yeah, really?
He's just
No.
teetering.
And I said to him, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Can you show me? Yeah. Now, I was born on it doesn't matter, you'll find out in a few weeks. I was born out on a certain date, so that you'll figure out where my sense of humour comes from. So he says to me, no mate, I'll figure this out. That's why it never worked for anybody else. I'm telling you, I'm going to set the mark on this one. I said, no worries. And so the train rocks in. It was a blue train, so the blue trains back in the day used to be able to open the doors and just kind of chill out, you know, and they were wide enough to get a good run up, you know, and so what he did is he launched himself off the train. I thought this was gold, Dad. If you ever want to get your brother or sister back, do this. You know, so you can't, you've mucked it up now. So anyway, he goes, no worries. So he opens the door, he launches himself off in reverse, right? So the train's going in this way, you know, and he launches himself off like this. You know? He's going, watch me, watch this, I'm going to stop. See, the thing about G-force, you know, you didn't learn this in science, right? I'm going to educate you right now. When something that is bigger than you is travelling in the opposite direction to you, something in the atmosphere happens. When you try to go against that thing, it says no. So when you swipe left or yeah, it says swipe left. Nah. And you end up looking like a busted cabbage, you know. So he hit the train station. You ever seen one of those cartoons where, like, Wile E. Coyote and Red Rooster's like, bong, 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 you know? What do I say? Oh, see, I just want to eat that thing. Yeah, because Red Rooster, whatever they call that road run thing. I just always wanted to eat that thing, you know? So he jumps off. Yeah. You know, like, I'll show you that, so yeah. You know, as he jumps up like that, he thinks he's got this sussed. It is like a split second before he hits the ground and he sees me go, I swear to God, that's what I did. I was 13 or something. And he goes, and he hit the ground. Boom! And then he would have had like a 15th of a second to think to himself, I'm dead. He hit, and back in the day, I don't know what the train stations are made of now, but the train station was made of rough tar, all right, bitumen. Ooh! any of the skateboarders in the room, you know, the craze you've got, feel the pain, baby. You know, so he hits this thing in his school uniform. The school bag just disintegrates. Pah! You know? So he had a good excuse for not getting his homework done. The train ate it, you know? So he hits the ground of this train station and it's on. And I'm hanging out the door. I had to cross my legs, I was going to wee. You know, and he's boom! And then it was like mid-flight, he's like, yeah, boom! And then it was like he's picking up momentum, and he was going past the train. We're slowing down, he's going, boom, 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 boom. Train stops, I step off, and walk off. He is bloody from head to toe. Right, there is no skin, face half grazed. Now, the reason I tell you that story is one, because I love telling it, you know. But two, sometimes we get into relationships, and it can just be like that. You know, you leap off this kind of moment into a relationship and it ends up in carnage. It ends up with this boom, 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 and your friends are going,
I'm just leaving him to die.
yeah, I'm just leaving you, I'm leaving you to die. Sometimes there is that. Our friends don't get around us enough to warn us, to hesitate, to cause us to, maybe this is not a good idea. Now, I just wanted to have some fun and see the skin ripped off him, you know, and so I just thought, yeah, no worries, go for it, dude. Really? You know, so I was pretty sincere-ish, you know.
Ish.
And so, the challenge for us is simply, in a relationship, or we're heading into friendships, even friendships, for those of you who are not ready for the relationship sort of journey, even in friendships, you might want to stop and think, is this going to end up like a busted cabbage? Or are we going to be the kind of friends that could possibly say, whoa, dude, this is not going to go well?
It's gonna be a bastard.
Are we going to, as he goes to run, slam the door? You know, because it's better to have a bruised face than it is to have no face. You know, to have no can still see it in my mind. It's like locked in there. It was so cool. Wish I had a mobile phone that could actually video back in the day, but I usually just throw phones at people nowadays. So here's the thing. Tonight, so tonight, I want to just put that in your mind as far as a relationship kind of journey goes. Where we're going to tonight is the couch. You know, we talked about chairs last week where MJ was getting to know Josh a little bit more intimately, you know. And so tonight we're going to be sharing with you a couple of things. But before we get into my little assistant actress this evening, you need to ask yourself this question. When you're getting into a friendship or a relationship, right? Now, you can apply this to both. Because friendships are relationships. They just don't, well, they may progress to, you know, from friend zone to, you know, but, and which is good, that's good, because usually you get to know a person beforehand, but if you get friend zoned, that's like orcs, you know, try and get out of that friend zone is hard, but we'll talk about that next week. I want you to ask yourself the question, if you're going for a new friendship or a new relationship, what do you, as a person, actually bring to the table as a person? And what I mean by that is, do you bring loyalty? Do you bring trustworthiness? Do you bring, you know, like you're going to hang in there with someone, you're going to give them good advice, you're going to protect them, you're going to be there for them? Do you bring those kinds of things? Do you bring love? Do you bring that sense of like, you know, I'm a solid guy or a solid girl around being your kind of friend? You can trust me. Do you bring that to the table? Because if you don't, you might want to just consider, let's look at the CD cover later. So, you might want to just check out in yourself whether you're, we did a series a few years ago, I think, I can't remember now, we do so many, called Are You Friendable? And are you like that kind of friend? Are you relationshipable? Right? Say that one, everyone say that.
Relationship.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Relationship.
Okay. Over the line, just too far. You know, so that's a whole nother level. So the challenge for us is simply, in our friendships, what do you bring to the table? And if you're pursuing a friend or a friendship circle, what do they bring to the table? Are they a positive influence in your life? Are they going to support you, encourage you, protect you? Are they going to help you, grow you, give you opportunities? Or are they going to be the ones that actually pull you backwards into a place where you think, Now, I'm not talking about our struggles, because we all bring our needs and our struggles into our friendships. What I am talking about is that on a whole, do you help, lift, grow, promote your friends, protect them, or do you draw them back into a lifestyle that's probably not so healthy and helpful for them? It's important to ask ourselves this question, guys. It really is. I don't care what age you are, because you will develop a reputation as a trustworthy, friendable person or not, right from year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9. If you're not trustworthy, if you're not loyal, if you're not, then forget about getting into a relationship with someone, because you haven't grown the character, that what it takes to be friendable, to be relationship-able. It's a new word. It's mine, right? TM. Right. So what I want to talk to you about tonight, and I'm going to ask, would you like to join me, young Taylor? Is this okay? Can I use Taylor tonight? Would that be okay? Good. Next week I will not use her in the bed. All right. So without you in it. So. Pick me. You're too young. Yeah, so.
I said me first.
Yeah. Moving right along on the camera, edit that one right out. Thank you. So, tonight we're just going to spend a couple of minutes. So,
I don't care.
So, in a relationship at this level, this is where it's challenging for men, males, to actually, this is what we call the deepest emotion moment. Most guys don't even know what their deepest emotion is. I'm not talking about your deepest stirring. Right? I'm talking about just embarrass the people. Every boy giggle. All right, good job. We've moved on from the penis conversation. All right. So what I'm talking about here, this is where, at this point, if you do not have the courage or the ability to talk about your deepest emotions at this point, this is where you say no. Because what's missing? Connection? Trust. Yep. The advice we want to give you in this series is serious. The challenge with it is that we all are needy people. We all want to be loved, and we want to be loved within 5 minutes. But I'm telling you, you will not discover that level of love or that level of relationship or that depth of relationship in 5 minutes with someone. You might get a root, but you're not going to get a relationship out of that. And the challenge for that is, if this person, you need to respect the other person too. That they have emotional needs that I may not be able to meet. And I need to have the courage to be able to say, left, no. So this would be a moment where I might share with something, and Taylor's my model because she's safe. And I appreciate Alex trusting me. So, and you're all watching, so it's awkward. So this might be a moment where I might share something like, so a deep emotion. Might be, sometimes, yeah, as we'd be together. Now, at this point, for a male, this is going to be that icky, awkward, nervous, unusual feeling, because it's deep feeling. And usually when you're sharing this, blokes will kind of do this.
Hi.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that at times. Yeah. Now let me tell you, dear gentlemen, you need to learn the art of looking at your girl or your partner. If you're same-sex attracted, I don't care who it is. If it's your partner, you get to look at them. So, at this moment, this might be, Taylor, I always present like I'm a really kind of altogether kind of guy, but there are times that I'm really insecure and really needy. around, someone showing me affection. And so I get nervous about asking someone for love, for affection, for any kind of physical contact or any kind of stuff. I get really unsure about that because I get afraid that I might get rejected. Room went pretty quiet then, didn't it? Because you're all thinking, dude, shit, I say that all the time. That's what I feel. So then Taylor has an opportunity to respond. She doesn't always have to. You know when someone says, I love you? And then you instantly feel obligated to say, I love you back? Or, I miss you. And then you don't say it and they go, don't you miss me? Don't get into the habit of obligation response. Right? Initiate, I love you. Oh, don't say, oh, that's nice. It's never a good thing to say. Yeah, And don't do that. Don't do, because all of a sudden they go, and they start to twitch at that point. You want to share another? All right, so this is a moment that I might start to share, and then if Taylor and I were in that kind of pursuit, which we're not because she's in a relationship with someone else, it wouldn't be appropriate for Taylor to share at this point because it might be giving you false ideas, right? So the challenge for me is I might then begin to share as I become more comfortable, and what you find is your actual body language gets more and more closer to the person when they reassure. Nice. It's getting warm in here. So the challenge is that it might be very much a sense of intimacy where now we haven't even talked about sex. We haven't even talked about what turns you on, what turns you off. We haven't even got to that point yet because I'm trying to figure out, is this person the person that I want to share and can trust my deep emotions with because I've been rejected so many times. I'm carrying all this baggage into this conversation right now. And if I can't learn to share my most deepest fears and emotions with this person, then it's a swipe left. It is a swipe left. If no parent or no friend tells you this, this is the stop point. Until you become okay about sharing your emotion, your fear, your deepest emotions with somebody that you can trust, somebody who's not going to go, seriously, you are such a pussy. That is not a good response. And that would be a what?
Swipe left.
Swipe left, capital N-O-P-E. Nope. All right, a capital nope at that point. Now, this is the moment. To get to this, I'm going to show you what took us to get to this point. All right, I'm going to teach you 5 things that can help you get to this point. But don't ever, ever, ever use it as manipulation to get something from someone. This is the journey you do for somebody that you want to love you, that you want to be intimate with you, a friendship that you want for life, not just for leisure. So Taylor and I would then engage. This might be an all-night conversation. This might be one where time just gets lost. The TV is not on, and we are just engaging in a conversation about that deeper level of emotion and feeling and fear, where you feel like, for men, I don't know, I can't speak for women, but I know when I go to share deep stuff with someone, my heart rate, like I can feel it thumping in my chest. I can feel that, and I can feel that sinking feeling in my stomach of like, I'm going to vom right at the moment, hopefully not over here. I'm going to vom, and it's like, what will she do? What will she say? How do I even... And then there's something in my throat that goes, no, and just closes over, and I can't speak. Men, learn to speak. Learn to share what's going on. The risk is that you could be rejected. The risk is if you split up, they could hurt you on social media. The risk is that they could laugh and mock you at multiple levels that could hurt you even more. That's why we say slow down. Take the time, get to know this person. So at this point, even if she's a nope, or if I'm a nope for her, it could be that moment where she's respectful enough to say that took a lot for him to share that. And that took a lot for her to share that. I'm going to respect that. and I'm going to put that in Davy Jones's locker, and it's going to the bottom of the sea, and I'll carry it with me to the day I die because it was a beautiful moment.
It was not from the sea.
Where was it?
It was buried.
Oh, you know, Davy Jones. So, thank you, Taylor. You well done. You can stay or you can do it. So, you need to understand 5 things. This changed the life for me, and I have spoken to many men about this, and they have all laughed at me initially. And that was the 5 love languages. We've talked about this before. We forget what the 5 love languages is, but right now I'm going to describe them for you, and I want you to think deeply.
Can I say them?
No. Thank you. I want you to, the reason I don't want you to say them just like that is because we're going to say one and describe it so that you can understand if this is your love language. Now, people have different love languages, right? And we often, I would say, for example, we'll get to that. So, the first love language is words of affirmation. If you don't know, that's a big word, and it simply means words of praise, words of things that lift you up. How many of you love to have someone speak words of affirmation to you? Like you really need that. Don't be embarrassed, we've all got them. So, yeah, cool. So that could be more of a motivator than a couple of these others. So words of affirmation is someone saying to you, Tyler, come up here. It's going to be my new model.
Oh, great.
You know. So while I'm looking at Tyler, and if I was his lady or his man, you know, so I might be saying to him, you know, a couple of things I love about you. You know, some of the things I love about you is that, you know, you're a really solid guy. You're a funny guy. You're really compassionate. You're really, you're intelligent. You're really caring. You're always sensitive. You're an amazing friend. You're trustworthy. You feeling good now? Yeah, very good.
Getting over the awkwardness.
But you might be saying, yeah, keep going, bitch. Never say that word. Right, thanks.
Yeah,
So, you know, and men learn the language of love, learn the language, and women, of affirmation. Just saying to a guy, nice abs, you know, or good booty, oh, give me some of that, isn't going to work, right? It does work for some, but it doesn't work long term. So, words of affirmation. Next one is quality time, not quantity time. Sometimes people say it's both. I want a lot and I want a quality. So it's length of time and depth of time. So you might be a time person. Who in the room loves... Okay, so classic. MJ loves quality time. It's not so much a long time, but she wants time, you know. If you give her time, it's solid. She's going to feel loved, you know. So if I say to MJ, let's go out for coffee, and she goes, that's exactly what she does. And she goes, oh, you know, and I say, well, we're going for 10 minutes. You know, it's like that squirrel, Remy, you know, over the hedge, you know, and the world, the minute we get into that moment, zoom, and the world slows down. You know, that's how, that she's understood that is one of her love languages. If I was going to date MJ, that would have to be the serious thing that I understand. She needs quality time for her to feel loved. If I've got no time for her, relationship's going, yeah, left. Nope. All right. Number 3, acts of service. Now, some people, what I mean by that is they like stuff done for them that shows that you love them.
That's me.
Right. So Taylor, if you do stuff, clean up her room, do the dishes, make her dinner, do the washing, you know, you come home and all of her knickers and everything's hung out on the line and it's all lemon fresh, you know, and then you've figured out how to fold those special undies in a certain way and put them in her drawer and she goes, no, you know, that's gonna, right? Yeah, right. So those moments where you just think, and the toilet paper. Well, the toilet paper's actually on the roll, which would be good on the roller thingy. Yeah, not on the floor or just the raw cardboard thing. That's bad. Most women hate that, men. Just saying. If you've used it, replace it. You know. So, acts of service. That will create a moment where all of a sudden that person comes home, comes into your environment where you've done something nice, washed their car, bought them something. You know, that sort of stuff is like. You know, that crap, you know. So you can see it's not my love language. That's beautiful. So, now some of us are motivated by that and some are not. Now if that's Taylor's love language, heads up, brother. You know, he might already know that. And number 4 is gifts. Some people's love language is they love giving gifts, you know. They love, now where's Natty? Down the back. Natty's love language, one of her love languages, to give love is to give gifts. She is brilliant at it. If you're dumb at it, see Nat, you know, because I was dumb at it, and I see, Nat would give me gifts at times. I'm going, I get this thing, you know, and I unravel it. I go right down to like this, you know, like a lanyard or a pen in a box and a cup with ACDC written on. I just go, how does she even think of that? I go to like the Kmart and buy her a mug with a flower and she goes, really? I'd be better off buying you a book. I better find out her author that she likes. Otherwise, so buying her a comic book? Not so much, you know. So gifts, some people love language is gifts. They love giving you, buying you stuff. Let them. Just let them. Don't go, oh, you don't have to, because what you're actually doing to that person is you're actually rejecting their love language right at that point. If you ever say to someone, we can't afford it, you have ruined the love language of that individual. Be careful. The next one, which most men go, at, is physical touch. You like this one?
That's mine.
And all the men say, pick me! You know, so the challenge for us is we think physical touch is about touching that part. But, you know, the package part. So, not what? Oh. So, people that are huggers. So all the odds in the room are physical touch people, you know. Now, physical touch. Oh, and
Jackson ready to
no.
Alex is gonna ready to touch.
Switch the camera off in the stairs on the way out.
It's not interlocked.
We run out of time, so come on, I've got to get through these. So physical touch is simply, oh, I need my seat back, thank you for that, but you just jump out of there for a second. Yeah, nice, I love you. Nice. So I can be blueing in a relationship. I don't know if you like this. And when a male fights, it's usually stubborn silence. If it's not anger or violence, it's usually stubborn silence. And she might say, what's wrong? Nothing. Good. Everything all right? Yeah. Do you know what can change it for me? It's simply 2 fingers just touching it. In one moment. Boom. All of a sudden, just by 2 fingernails touching, it can mean everything to me. Physical touch. I haven't shagged her yet. I haven't got to that part. I haven't gotten that far. There's part where we just connect. So the challenge, guys, is simply this. Know what your love language is, because you'll be able to communicate that even to your friends. When I meet my friends, I hug them. What's one of my love languages? Physical touch. I told you, if I'm blueing with someone and they reach out in some way and just say, well, I don't like you right now, but hug me. You know? So I know everything's going to be okay. I don't know what it is, where it comes from, how it works out, but I know for me, it is about that reconnection. Boom. And it's there again. You can love me by buying me heaps of gifts and I will say thank you, but I'll probably sell it on eBay a year later. Stars, if you have bought me something, don't check out my eBay. I'll tell you a funny story. I had a friend that bought me something and it was quite significant. And I sold it on eBay a year later and he actually was looking, because he bought a gift for me that he really liked, you know. And I sold it on eBay because it was like $500. And I thought, sweet, you know, so I sold it on eBay because it was a gift, right? He didn't own it, did he?
No.
You did.
He gave it to me as a free gift. So I should be able to do whatever I like with that gift, shouldn't I? No! All the gift givers go, no, you've got that for life, you know. I'm not sentimental. You come to my joint, it's hard to find a picture of my boys as babies. They're in a box somewhere, you know. I think. So the challenge is I don't hang on to a lot of stuff. Stuff to me is useful for its time and then gone. You can buy me something, but let me warn you, don't be offended if we put it on eBay in a little while.
Check it on Facebook.
I'm not putting it on Facebook because that'd be bad. So, those 5 love languages we'll put up. Now, just quickly, we're going to run through this. There are 4 types of love. Now, the reason we're going to say this is because you'll be able to identify this and don't get these confused in any way, right? The first type of love, we'll put this up, don't stress, is called storge, right? S-T-O-R-G-E, storge love. And that's like a fondness. That's like love for your grandmother, you know. It's not intimate, right? It's that love for your brother, love for your sister, maybe mum. There you go.
I was just going to say, based on time at 10 past, do you want to actually take a bit of time to do these 4 and we'll bypass packs for next week? Because it's 10 past. I think it would be worth taking a bit of time to do the 4.
I love your wisdom. Good job, Rebecca. Your gift to me is your wisdom. You want to do that? Do you want me to slow down? I'll slow down a little bit and get this. Packs will do maybe a longer.
Don't rush this bit.
Okay, don't rush this bit. So we won't rush this bit.
Don't rush it.
Are you cool with that? You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. Just tell like that, thumbs up if we're good to do that. You know. I know if you want to get in your pack.
No.
If you want to deal something with your pack leader, are you cool?
Yeah.
Great. Just good. Well done. Good. That means we can just slow it down a little bit. So if you need something to talk about with your pack leaders, follow up your crew this week, and if you've got something to say it to your pack leader before you leave. Please don't walk out here. If you're coming tonight feeling like you're carrying a load, I challenge you, step forward and speak to them. So storge love is that family fondness. It's like a brother to a sister, a mum to a dad, your nana. You know, it's like I love ice cream and I love my nana in the same kind of breath, right? It's kind of like, you know, it's that kind of fondness, family fondness. That's what that type of love is, right? Who loves cake? You love cake.
I love cake.
You just go up to that cake. You just go up to that cake head and go.